We're continuing task 1F, where you're creating the letters, the reminder letters. Now, in the last tutorial, you created the report that included all the data that we needed from the database. Now we need to make this look more like a letter. So we need to have a look at the example that we've been given in the question. And although it doesn't have to have exactly the same layout, it does help us to follow the pattern of that, particularly as some of the requirements are to have the church address in left block. So let's go through how we can have a look at this. We'll close our print preview and we'll go into design view. So first of all, we've got some subtitles, booking ID and the total. So I hold down control to select more than one item. And the description, quantity, adults, children, and price charged, all of these have been set as subtitles, which makes sense. So we'll make those red, underlined, and size 14 points. Of course, that's going to involve, might involve some truncation, like it has done here with the price charged and with children. That can easily be solved. I'm not going to go through all of the truncation with you, but we'll just do a couple of these and we can see then how it's going to look. We had our booking date and payment due up here, and we wanted our church on the left hand side. So I'm going to make the header a little bit bigger. I'm going to pull all these subtitles down. Remember to keep the alignment with the main data. And now I can start to put bits together. So for example, the district, town and postcode can all go together here. And what I can do now is if I click on there, the labels, I can delete those labels and I can put this information together in a block. And the same with the forename and the surname. I could put the contact forename here and I can put the contact surname here. However, there is a better way that you can do this. This is a bit of an extension, really. If we go and look at a design tool, we'll create a new text box that will combine the forename and surname together. If we had a title, we could also combine the title together. So we'll just get rid of that bit that says text, and we're going to say this is going to be equal to the forename. We're going to put a space between the two, so we use ampersand, and what this is, it concatenates, it joins together different bits of data. So we're going to put a space in between them, and then we're going to add on as well the surname. Now of course I've done the forename wrong there. I'll go back and fix that in a second. So it should be contact forename, and we need to just check that this is going to work. So we'll go to view. Yes, it does. That's brilliant. We just need to sort out the house style, so I can just use a format painter to do that, and that'll solve that problem for us. There we go, put those in there. We can put all of this, oh, we need to put a date, don't we, at the top there, so let's add a date. So again, we'll use a text box, and we can just get rid of the label, and we'll just put equals date, open bracket, close bracket. Now our booking date and our payment due date, I'm going to bring these across and down a little bit so that we can fit them in, because we could see we had those hashes earlier, which meant that we couldn't actually see what they were. We'll put those in there, and we'll put the booking ID above, like that, all nicely lined up. And then we need to have Dear Dwayne. Okay, well we can do that similar to what we did before. So I'll put use this text box. I'll just copied and pasted that. So I'm just going to say equals contact forename, and I'm going to put in front of it Dear with a space and an ampersand. And then we want something that's going to say reminder letter, and is going to have the introduction to the letter. So let's continue with this. So I'll take all that down there. And what I'll do is I've already got something in title style, so I'm going to copy and paste that and bring it down, and we'll make it left aligned. So we go to format, left aligned, and we'll call that reminder letter. and then I've got to put some text in here. So I'm going to use a label because it's just pure text, and I can start writing the letter. Unfortunately, and of course we need to make that into the house style as well. So there's the beginning of our letter. Let's have a look at what it's looking like so far. Okay, so we've got our date up there. Yeah, if we want to put that into house style, it will match up a bit better. This is looking good up here. This is all looking good. Obviously we need to sort out the house style and the truncation there. And then we just need to finish our letter off with a yours sincerely. And we need some house styles here to get rid of these square or rectangular borders. We can just get rid of those borders. So let's have a look at those borders very quickly. First of all, we want the adults to be in the same style as the children, so we'll use a format painter for that. Obviously did something wrong there. We'll try again. So we'll click on one of these, use the format painter, click on adults. To get rid of the boxes, just click on one of them, okay, and go to shape outline and select transparent. Now we could put the yours sincerely in the page footer, but the problem with that is it will leave a big gap between total and yours sincerely, and it will put it right at the bottom of the page. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to put it in the booking ID footer underneath the summary data. So I'm going to put it in here. So I'm going to type in here another text label, and it's going to be yours sincerely. So yours sincerely. Oh, now I have to use Shift Enter to create some spaces. I'm going to put accounts, and of course we'll set that into house style. Now when we look at this, and we'll go for print preview this time because we're nearly ready to print, apart from the little bits of tidying up. We can see there's one letter, and there's a blank page, which is not what we want, and there's another letter. So we've got to try and work out what is causing our blank page. It's probably because we've got some space on the right hand side that we need to get rid of. So if we pull this in, and then we'll have another look. Now what's stopping it from being pulled in is the length of these, so we'll just reduce these a bit, and hopefully we can pull this in, and that will get rid of some of the blank space. Something else is stopping it. So what we have to do is we have to look through, okay, see what it might be. Okay, and we can see we've got the reminder letter here. Okay, so we'll reduce that, and our text box here, reduce that, and now we should be able to pull it in a bit better. Now if we have a look at our print preview, we can see we've got one letter. Go to the second page, and we've got a second letter. Now we're lucky in that this has actually done one letter per page, but it might not do that automatically for you. So if it doesn't, we need to set it up so that it forces a page at the right place. And the place where we want it to force a new page is before the booking ID header. So I'm going to force a new page just before there. So I'm going to look at the properties of that and look at its format. And you'll see it says force new page. I'm going to force a new page before the booking ID header, so before that section. Now when we have a look, it's not quite going to be perfect yet, but we should definitely have our two pages, our two letters, 1 and 2. Now the reason we've got the report header on a separate page is because it's in the report header. If we put this in a page header instead, or we could even put it in the booking ID header if we want, put it into the page header, then it will appear on each page as part of the letter. So now it'll be part of the letterhead. Now if we go to print preview, we'll see our letters exactly as we want them. Okay, so that is the reminder letters completed, and now you've got to annotate everything to show what you've done. But I always say it's a good idea to have a look at your requirements and check that all the requirements have been met. So we checked this when we did the query, that only the bookings that have not been paid, phone call reminder has been made, the reminder letter has not been sent, and payments were over 5 weeks old. Separate letter for each booking. Yes, we have got a separate letter for each booking. It's not doing multiple bookings on one letter. Each letter is on one side of A4. The name and address of the festival should be displayed as part of the letterhead. The date of the letter must be displayed. The church address must be left aligned in block together with the contact forename and surname. Yes, we've done that. The church must be reminded payment is overdue by 5 weeks and that a phone call has already been made. Well, you will write a sentence or a paragraph that completes that. The original booking ID, the booking date and the payment due date must also be displayed. Details of each pitch allocation are shown, including the pitch type. There's the pitch type, the description, the quantity, number of adults, number of children and the price charged. And then the background of the letter is in house style, but in white instead, everything else in house style, and the total is also showing. So that's the reminder letter completed and meeting all the requirements.